Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we have a Bill Kelliher Golden Axe Explorer. Gibson sure does know how to pair with artists that design really cool limited edition Explorers. We're talking things like the Golden Axe, the Thunder Horse, the Lizzie Hale signature models. There are so many cool limited edition Explorers, I would just love to have one of every single one. But today we have the guitarist for Mastodon's version. He also has a Les Paul that is very similar to this. Now he's a fan of the obscure finishes from the 80s and whatnot. He's known for playing a charcoal metallic Les Paul custom, and I guess he's had a Goldburst or two, and that's where this finish idea came from. But what's kind of interesting here is the finish for these Goldbursts. I don't know if this was intentional or not, but you see how you can see the wood grain underneath it? It's like they didn't use a grain filler. That way you could still kind of see that through the Goldburst finish. So you want to get that on the vintage version of a Goldburst. Now, I doubt there's an original Goldburst Explorer, barring a custom order of some sort. But you can find a few Les Paul customs, some the Paul, and even the V2 came in this rare finish. So what makes Kelliher's Golden Axe Explorer different from a regular one? Let's compare. The only other Explorer I have right now is a Thunder Horse, so we're going to use this as a comparison because honestly, most of the specs on the Thunder Horse are traditional except for the finish and the ebony fretboard. Kelliher's Golden Axe, for whatever reason, they decided to go with a gold Gibson silkscreen. I'm guessing they did this because it ties in with the whole gold vibe, but I would much rather have like a gold tinted mother of pearl one, especially when you were paying as much as you did for these. But a really sweet feature here is the headstock is also bursted in a gold finish. Now it's not super overly apparent, but it is there. Both of these limited edition models have a truss rod cover that reads their nickname, Thunder Horse as well as Golden Axe. The Golden Axe has a rosewood fretboard, which is what you traditionally see, but it has trapezoid inlays instead of dot inlays. So that's something that makes these Explorers stand out a little bit more cosmetically in comparison. The Golden Axe, as you would expect, has gold hardware and comes with the lace Nitro Hemi pickups. And on top of that, you can coil split them by using the push-pull pots in this guitar. Most Explorers don't have a push-pull pot unless they've been modified, like this one. But speaking of modifications, look at this huge difference. Usually on an Explorer, you will have your toggle switch right here. On the Kelliher, they decided not to do that, and they simply just have that logo there. These are similar to an Explorer Traditional Pro in that they actually don't have any routing behind their pickguard either, so you could technically take it off if you wanted a pickguardless Explorer. The toggle switch for this one is in place of your tone knob, so you just have master volume and master tone with once again the coil split option for each. This is the way a normal Explorer looks like. Furthermore, you have binding along the body, and unfortunately they did not burst the back, which I feel they should have, because that would have made the guitar even more cool in my eyes. But you know, nobody ever sees the back anyways, so it's just pure black. So cosmetically, this guitar is a huge win. I love the Golden Axe. I can't necessarily say I've listened to a lot of Mastodon, but he designed a beautiful guitar, and we will never see any more from him and Gibson ever again because apparently they had a fallout of some sort. So the only signature Mastodon guitars you'll see are the Golden Axe and the Halcyon Golden Les Paul. So now that we know a little bit more about the Golden Axe, let's go ahead and hear how this one sounds. Now that we know how this instrument sounds, let's go ahead and review its condition. This guitar definitely has some wear and tear. The face of the headstock, the biggest thing to go over here is a little oopsie happened right here, where it was slightly dropped when it was being rewired, and we got a small finish chip. What I did was I super glued that chip back down. It didn't quite look good enough for me, so I went over it with my black lacquer pen, and I think I ended up making it look worse, but you know, that is something to know about. I probably should have just left it as is. Your frets show minor wear, and you have a rosewood fretboard here. You have your original pickups in here, however, it has been rewired. Whoever originally owned this, I'm not quite sure what they were trying to do. They took the push-pull off of this one and gave it to some guy who said he knew what he was doing, and he didn't know what he was doing. I'm thinking they were trying to control both of the coil splits with just one knob. But I went ahead and had that restored by Eric to the stock factory specs, so you have a push-pull on each in order to get your single coil mode for both humbuckers. And you have your traditional 3-way toggle switch. So you've got some light usage wear along the top. By the 3-way toggle switch, you can see when we are putting that ring back on, there are a few light scratches by there. And you also have some inner cracking to the knob. That was there when I got it though. Besides that, your gold hardware just has some light tarnishing, especially on the bridge and tailpiece. Backside of your instrument, serial number 12, it looks like maybe 463541. So it's a 2013 model. I know you can't see it, the black finish is a little bit thick, but just some light wear and tear along the edges. You've got a nice 60s neck profile to this one. Nice and rounded though. The strap buttons have been upgraded to Schalers. And besides that, I mean, you don't have a lot of wear on this example. I know the original owner, after the whole wiring mishap, he didn't get to use it too much because it wasn't working. Along the edges of the body, you can see where the binding truly ends as well as the body begins. You can see that little lacquer checking line pretty much running around the whole guitar. Very common to see on any type of top-bound instruments. Spec-wise, you do have a mahogany body with a mahogany neck and rosewood fretboard. We'll do a quick blacklight test here. You can see everything's looking good on the front. It looks like somebody liked to anchor their arm right here, so you can see some sweat has absorbed into the finish. You can't really see that in normal lighting situations though. Sides of the guitar are also looking good. Now the back, same thing kind of going on here, why the neck glows a lot more, and right here, just sweat absorbing into the finish. So it was played quite a bit by a sweaty guy, I guess. But no breaks, cracks, or repairs to worry about on this one. This instrument still retains its original case. You've got some scuffing from light gigging and storage, but for the most part, it definitely still protects the guitar well. 3 latches on the front, no combo locks or anything though. And the inside is a beautiful white interior. You've got some dirt staining along the top, as well as right there, but you know, that's kind of to be expected with these white cases. Inside your compartment lid, I do have the 2 original push-pulls. We just put brand new ones in there because they're a little bit easier to work with. And you also have the Schaller strap lock counterparts, as well as a truss rod adjustment tool, and some of the original paperwork. If you think you might be interested in being the next owner of this Golden Axe Explorer, feel free to check out that link in the description. That will take you to the Reverb for Sale ad. Thank you, Troglodytes, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.